Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome to Alan Wake 2, which is a game that I am especially excited about, because I love all of Remedy's games. Although, to be fair, I still have not played Death Race, which I think is their first game. But, like, since Max Payne 2 was the first game that I pre-ordered of theirs. And ever since then, I've always kind of been in line for the next Remedy release, which hasn't been that many, but they have definitely worked a little bit faster since Alan Wake 1, since the days in which Sam Lake has, in an interview, had said that even Alan Wake 1 took too long to develop. And while they are not a game factory, spending 6 years at the time on making Alan Wake 1 was too long. But now, Alan Wake 2 is out. It has direct connections to Control. I've heard that there are more connections to Control in this game as well. Let us stop talking and start playing the game. Oh wait, hold on. Do we have some unnecessary cosmetics? We don't need to wear any fancy cosmetics. We'll just go with the default. On a normal experience. Now, supposedly this is more of a horror angle, and I wonder exactly how many different, how much modification there is to the original formula.
Back to the beginning. We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better to live with that hope without ever knowing the full story.
A little bit of an odd fade.
In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we are all ripped to pieces along the way. This is not the story I hoped it would be. This is not the ending I wanted. This story will eat us alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
Okay, that was a nice transition. But yeah, the ending of Alan Wake 1 left Alan Wake deserted at the bottom of the lake nearby the small town, where a dark presence is more or less forcing creative people to manifest. You need clothes is what you need, buddy. And maybe a shower. The true horror, male nudity.
Already gone.
So now are we in the present, the past? Yeah, we can specifically not see who we're playing as. Though I'm sure the camera is limiting itself for other reasons. Though I think I'm going to raise the brightness by, let's say 10. 15. Okay, I think I can deal with this. Oh no! Wildlife! Oh no! Cut-in jump scares of Alan Wake! Oh. This is what I would look like if I was sprinting. And nude. Maybe a little less bald. And more like I've showered. Oh, yeah, this is not exactly a good time to be spending attacked by axe murderers. By shadow axe murderers in the dark. Like, at least in Alan Wake's dream, he had clothes and a gun and a flashlight. You don't even have clothes, or a gun, or a flashlight. How are you expected to survive? Oh. You know, there's a trick to game design said by Gabe Newell. I think Gabe Newell said it. But, like, if you want to guide a player somewhere, just put a light. Just flash a light somewhere. Hello. Oh, No, I don't want to be shot. And then I suppose this is the anti-version of it. It presents the idea that the light is safe. Ah, no. Okay, so that must not be Alan Wake.
What the fuck?
But I feel as though the timing of that achievement, it could have waited a little bit. Like, maybe not in the middle of ritual sacrifice. It does spoil the mood a little bit. I could turn off achievements. That is a title presentation. And there he is, Matthew Peretta. Also, the face and voice of Dr. Darling.
Good, Mom. How are you?
James McCaffrey and Samlick. Sean Ashmore.
I'm sorry I've been gone so much lately, Logan.
Oh my God, Mom, it's not your fault. People get all murdery. What happened?
Just work stuff.
Right. Well, Dad and I are just watching the latest episode of Night Springs here. Mom, it's so good.
No spoilers. I'll let you get back to the show. You were supposed to wait and watch with me. I love you both.
This is what happens when you go on work trips, Mom.
You miss out on binging.
And say hi hi to Casey. Tell him to stop brooding so much.
Logan? I will.
So this is something that I saw in the trailer. That Sam Lake on the left there, voiced by James McCaffrey, is
Logan thinks you should try cheering up.
Snarky kid.
is playing Alex Casey. Alex Casey. I like the
It can't be a coincidence that another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Feels like the killer's leaving us a message.
I like the symmetry.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley. You should take lead. Think of me as the backup.
Okay. Any words of advice?
Catch the bad guy.
Nothing that would cheer anyone up.
But Alex Casey is the fictional detective in Alan Wake's books, as seen in the first game,
Here we are.
which presents the idea
Time to get to work.
that at the very least, Alex is a manifestation of Alan's creation, because Alan Wake himself was a physical manifestation of the diver's creation,
A deputy
I believe.
was supposed to be here to show us to the crime scene.
So,
There's the car, so where's the deputy?
Eaten by a bear? I'll check out that map.
so like, is she also a fictional character created in this universe?
Before we get swallowed up by the trees.
And it's also worth noting that this is the second James McCaffrey
take a look at
voice
that map.
in Alan Wake game, as he was the voice of the diver in Part 1. But having James McCaffrey as Sam Lake's voice is a very nice nod to the original Max Payne. For now, though, let us look at this map. The map displays key locations in the area. See, that's an excellent place to put an achievement.
I said we should both be down here, watching this dead guy. For safety. Quit your belly aching, Thornton. I'm up here now. Hey, over here. Hey there. Agent Casey, right? Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take over the case.
You're half right. Anderson?
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
Shoot. Sorry about that, ma'am. I'm Deputy Mulligan. I just figured that, you know, that, Federal agents right here, Thornton.
They're right here.
My partner Thornton, down at the crime scene. He's not what you call the sharpest axe in the shed.
Right here? What do you mean? Are they with you? Oh, shit! They didn't hear me, did they?
Any witnesses to the
Are
crime?
there any witnesses?
Yeah, a couple out-of-towners. I wonder what they were doing sneaking around the woods at night.
Mention the city folk. It's pretty suspicious.
Not that we have anything against city folk, right, Thornton? But don't worry. Sheriff Breaker took them back to town a while ago.
I could use a
What
briefing.
can you tell us about the crime scene?
Tell them about the heart.
I was getting to that, Thornton.
I'll get into the heart of the matter.
Well, we reckon there are some organs that are currently outside the victim's person when they should be, well, you know, inside.
I want to see the body. How do we get there?
Oh, sure, that's real simple. Just through the hole in the fence, down the hill towards the lake, around the old convenience store. You can't miss it. Everything's been closed since the area was fenced off. The store, the campground, all of it.
Mulligan, tell them I'm here, waiting. I'll show them around.
They got it, Thornton.
Yep, there's the murder site, past the bony-legged path.
Before we get to the crime scene, there's time to review the facts of the case so far. Make sure I'm seeing the clues clearly.
You can access the caseboard inside your mind place?
The Mind Place. My version of the Mind Palace technique. To sift through clues and work the case. Building the Mind Place again for each case. Using each field office as a model in my head. The facts are on the board. Everything we know about the previous murders. Worth taking another look.
The case board is a mental technique that allows Saga to analyze clues and progress the investigation. You are now free to navigate the case board or leave by pressing B. Can I, like, click on things? Or is it just, like, zoom? Oh, there we go. How do I... A series of murders have occurred around the town of Bright Falls. Finding the connections will help our search for the killer. The victim was reported missing in 2010, discovered in 2012, buried in a shallow grave. Found in Cauldron Lake, 2018. Some organs missing. Predation, state of the body does not match. 8 years spent in the lake. Found 2 weeks ago. Chest wound was ruled as cause of death. Tattooing on the body is illegible. Let's see. That's Percy Wolf, store owner. Bruising, heart removed, strange tattoos. Wendy Davis, teacher, body bloated, large chest wound. Ted Lane, dentist, stab wound, bloating, bruising on the wrists. Murder method. A slight difference in murders. Bloating, only commonality in bodies, but not cause of death, chest trauma. Exposure to water post-mortem. Bruising on wrists and legs. Deep gash in the chest. Heart missing. All bodies experienced bloating from the lake. Killer profile. Post-mortem tattooing of the body. The murder targets have no discernible common traits. Chest trauma resembles animal butchery techniques. Are we going to have multiple cases? What else can we do in our mind place? Also, we have a very cozy sweater for our mind place. Yeah, it's a picture of Casey there. And her daughter, I presume. Pistols, the magazine, featuring service pistols. And even in her mind place, there is still a room marked private.
I see you're already hard at work, Anderson.
Visiting the mind place does not pause the game.
Let's head down the hill to the crime scene.
Wait. Oh.
Nature gives me a headache. There's too much sky.
Are there coffee tins to collect in this one?
I'm gonna go check something out. Be right back.
I am? Alright. Neat how it actually has specific... ways for me to leave the story. Also, I like how smooth
Hey,
going
Casey.
from menu to
You're
menu
putting
is.
me in charge. Why now?
Look, Anderson, you're a better detective than I am. You've cracked cases that had the rest of us baffled. I don't want to slow you down.
Are you thinking of retiring? You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Mm-hmm. Real funny, Anderson.
Chaos at Cauldron Lake. Rampage at the rental cabins. Unidentified man attacks vacationers in the dead of night. Sunday. An idyllic evening of barbecuing and late-night fishing was violently disrupted Saturday as a mysterious assailant attacked park visitors, causing chaos and destruction at the cabins. The incident left 3 people injured, one of which has been admitted to the county hospital. The incident, as to whether the attacker is still at large, Bright Falls police have yet to make an official statement, leaving local residents in a state of uncertainty. Witnesses to the crime were visibly shaken, one of whom stated, "One minute we were laughing and toasting some marshmallows. The next we heard screaming coming up from the cabins. We didn't know what was going on, so we called the police and started running in the opposite direction," said Kurt Mill. Another eyewitness, who preferred to remain anonymous, said, "It's like he appeared out of nowhere. Suddenly my dog starts barking his head off and this psycho guy comes crashing to the trees. Don't think I'll ever feel safe in the forest again." You know, maybe that's the moral of the story, is never feel safe in the forest. Never. Especially near Bright Falls. A representative from the rental cabins who chose to remain anonymous wanted to remind customers, if you have plans to stay in our lovely cabins later this summer, please get in touch with us, as we may need to rejigger some of the reservations based on the state of the cabin that you have rented with us. The representative went on to further remind future and potential guests of the wonderful amenities that can be found in their company's brochures and the website, which is real nice. State of the art. My nephew made it, and he's a real computer whiz. Bright Falls Virtual Baking Camp. Little Sally Upton's whole family erupted into cheers when she won the big match this weekend. Was she playing soccer or tennis? No. In this brave new world we live in, her family was cheering her on as she won a match in a game that exists only on the information superhighway. The game in question was Mega Baking Star, in which players compete to make the tastiest treats and sweetest eats for their virtual judges online. Bright Falls congratulates Sally on her big win. How do you judge an eating contest online? How did you win, little Sally Upton? Does a hike a day keep depression away? It might be bright, sunny July, but it's never too soon to start worrying about the gloomy months of autumn ahead. That's right. In the grand scheme of life, those dead, depressing days are just around the corner. Have you been taking your vitamin D? Probably not. But for all of you thinking, there's gotta be another way, there's good news. Hiking has been proven to be incredibly beneficial to your mental and emotional health. So get on out there and do it. Just don't forget a flashlight in case it gets dark. Missing Doberman found on the trail. A heartfelt reunion took place this weekend when Mrs. Amanda Smith was reunited with her beloved dog Coffee Bean. CB, as his owner refers to him, had been missing for 3 days, and Mrs. Smith was afraid that she would never see her best friend again. When I got the call, I couldn't believe my ears. She said, "I must have asked him, am I dreaming, at least 7 or 8 times. It was actually 9 times, confirmed Ranger Stevenson, the man responsible for finding the wayward canine. It's rare that you get to give those kinds of calls, and I feel real grateful to have had the opportunity. What with all the predators out there, usually you're telling folks that you found their dogs dead, their cats eaten, and so it felt real good to give some good news. Even if Coffee Bean is in kind of rough shape, the fur will grow back, sure, but... Well, I suppose that's all I should say about that. Well, I feel bad for you, Coffee Bean. You deserved better. That is why I'm telling you, you shouldn't go out in the woods. That's mistake number 1, is going into the woods. Mistake number 2 is staying in the woods. There's no time for mistake number 3 because you're already dead. Starting fires is prohibited. Please do not feed the wildlife. Raccoons may be cute, but they are not cuddly. Leave no trace of your presence. Alex, I'm busy reading. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm right behind you. I got it. I'm a professional.
Stairs are out. You okay to jump down?
I'm not that.
I appreciate that it was in the middle of the sentence. Mirror Peak. The mighty mountain in the distance is no other than Mirror Peak, the iconic landmark overlooking Cauldron Lake. From the right angle, its beauty will be reflected on the calm surface of the lake, mirrored in all its inverted glory. I don't know. I'm wondering if there's like a theme of inversion. Like, is the dark place going to be represented as almost like an upside down, so to speak? It's interesting that Alan Wake 1 came out so long ago. There have been 4 seasons of Stranger Things in between then and now.
Not a bad place to get murdered.
If getting back to nature is your thing.
Alex Casey over there being like, that would be the worst thing ever, dying outside.
I like the rain. The only thing around here that feels like home.
You think the local law had the sense to put up a tarp?
If they did, next coffee's on me.
A phone booth. Why is there a phone booth out here?
Can I make it, Mulligan? Hey!
Huh. The Cauldron Lake General Store has seen better days.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you. So, FBI, huh? That's so cool. Hunting down psycho serial killers and shootouts with the mob.
I don't think we do as many...
What? Those are real? You guys hiring?
Let's just see this body, shall we?
I don't think we get into as many shootouts with the mob anymore.
Now this is the scene of the crime. We found him on the table. And we didn't touch nothing, you know, procedures and stuff.
Thanks, Deputy.
No tarp. You owe me a coffee.
Okay, let's start by examining our guest of honor.
I mean, I didn't specifically say that I agreed to the bet, so...
Body is positioned on the table. Ritualistic.
You've unlocked your first key image. You can place it on the caseboard inside the mind place. Huh.
Another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Coincidence?
Another body has been found in the woods near Bright Falls. So we weren't even here for this body. We were here for another body. Need to see if this is linked to the killings we're here to investigate. That'll prompt a new question. When a clue is placed, objectives are viewable to caseboard in your goals. Investigate the crime scene. It's a good goal. All right, what do we got here?
Step 1. Examine the corpse.
Nope, we're still examining the corpse.
The killer left the heart right next to the body. Bruising on the wrist from the cargo straps holding him down. Inside stab wound. Chest cut open. Heart removed. Keep trying. Heart removed from chest, strapped by the wrists. Definitely matches the previous murders. But this time the heart and the straps were left behind. More clues to work with. This makes 4 murders that we know about.
Let's see, the clues have resolved the open question and unlocked a deduction. As you advance the investigation, new questions will be unlocked, updating your goals. Learn more about the victim, learn more about the killer. Let's see, talk to someone, find evidence.
Who is our victim? Who killed him? Need to find more clues.
But my investigation...
Multiple people were here. Multiple killers?
Seems that way. We already know there are multiple killers. What is that? Is this nothing? That's just a fuel canister. Okay.
Someone was drinking beer. They spent time here, waiting.
Son of a bitch.
Someone left in a hurry. Knocked the tripod over. Was it for a camera? Was he killed here or brought here after? For display.
There's 2 markers. But I don't, are they just both kind of like designating the footprints? Though I admit this is much slower burn than I was expecting. But then definitely more narrative focused. Have you identified the victim?
Any idea who the victim is?
Oh, I sure do.
Oh, you
His name
do?
is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago.
Oh yeah,
I
he was in
haven't
Alan
heard
Wake
about him
1.
since. Well, until now.
Nightingale. Robert Nightingale?
Oh, yes. You probably knew him. Brothers in arms. Oh, and sisters.
Thanks. Okay, well, we have the name of the victim.
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. I haven't heard a word about him since.
No one's heard from this guy in 13 years. Why surface now? Where has he been? He's been in the darkness. Now, literally, these two are in the dark. Do you know?
So you knew our victim.
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times at Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner got killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
So what happened to Nightingale after the Bureau let him go?
I only know the rumors. Depression led to booze, booze led to paranoia. He got some wild ideas in his head, chased ghosts until he fell off the map. Guess he ended up here,
I bet there's more to that story.
but no happy ending.
Nightingale went missing 13 years ago. 2010.
The same as all the other victims.
Certainly fits the pattern. Makes me wonder what was going on that year.
Probably something this town wants to forget.
Well, unfortunately, we're going to have to prod that memory back to the surface. Also, this cult seems to be targeting specifically people who have re-emerged from the darkness. What do they know about that we don't?
Robert Nightingale, ex-FBI, came to Bright Falls 13 years ago.
I trust Casey's read on people. Sounds like our victim wasn't mentally stable. Alright, we got anything else we could look at? We have the tripod, the cooler. There's a dumpster here for some reason in the... I guess this is a party place.
I'll be back in a second.
Roger.
A creepy twig sculpture?
You know, if there's anything to be learned from True Detective Season 1, it's that, do not trust creepy twig structures. That is a good flashlight.
Hey there, Mr. Deer. You remind me of a dream I had.
What is up with his triangle symbols? Well, they at least got some tarps over this place, if not the body. It's 3 triangle symbols inside, 4 inside this house. 5, 6. Let this be a warning to you fellow trespassers. They say the lake is a caldera, something formed by an erupting volcano or the sinkholes it leaves in its wake. But what if that's not true? What if it's something else, something less natural and much more man-made, intentional? I say the lake's not formed, it's designed and it has purpose. The lake is a hiding place. Beneath the calm surface lies a secret machinery ready to be activated at the press of a button. And the people with the button, they're in that big house by the lake preparing, I know it. First drawing, water line. Real caldera is made from a volcano, lava. Second drawing, water line. Engineered structure, strange machines. Though how do you solve the mystery on the outside? If you don't see the altered world event, you're only seeing the traces it leaves behind. And why do they have so many pallets? Confused? Follow these steps. Wash hands. Take chicken out of fridge. Take a nap.
Let's get back to work over here, can we?
Wonder what's inside.
What's inside of...
Take a look around for a way to open this thing.
Open which thing? Oh, this thing. So we got triangle, triangle. Wash your hands, take chicken out of the fridge, take a nap. Okay, I got it. Wash your hands would be bathroom. Upside down, inverted triangles. Take chicken out of the fridge. Hourglass. Inverted triangles, outer hourglass. And then take a nap. I presume that would be in the bedroom. Is side to side. Inverted hourglass, side to side. Don't take anything if you aren't one of the trees. Oh, I've got an inventory system. For the combat that I have not been experiencing. But I'm sure is there eventually. Of course, leave me to get stuck at, like, the first plot point.
Hello, this is Agent Anderson and Agent Casey, FBI. We'd like to come in and ask a few questions pertaining to an investigation.
The station heads are not currently available. Access is restricted without their permission.
Nice talking to you, too.
Lake House Federal Bureau of Control, Research Department Laboratory. All right. All right, where are we in relation to the murder site? It is on our left.
Did you get lost, Anderson?
No. Maybe.
I'll look around. See you in a bit.
Take your time.
Oh, no. Feel like I'm missing a clue. Like there's a clue here. And I'm just not...
Large amount of blood on the table.
Oh.
The victim died here.
I think that's everything. For now, at least.
Mm-hmm. Anything clicking yet?
Not sure. Need to think about it.
Do people with mind places tell people that they have mind places?
Boot prints indicating multiple killers. Quite the party.
They really made a mess here. Caught up in the act or just sloppy work? Lots of activity here. It's unlikely our killer was working alone. Prompted or spontaneous? It seems prompted, which means that they knew he would be leaving the lake at a certain time.
They planned for the murder to happen here, passing the time with equipment ready. They were waiting for him. But why Nightingale? He's been missing for 13 years. Why here? Why now?
Victim came from where?
Profiling.
Ah,
The subject's head.
are we getting a little
See
bit
what
of
they saw,
controls
feel what they
editing?
felt. Use whatever I know about them to guide my intuition to a revelation. Piece it together.
You can use profiling inside Saga's mind place to get inside the heads of suspects and victims. Using her intuition, Saga can discover new clues by profiling people of interest. Missing person, ritual murder.
Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Flip the switch. It goes click. Lights are off. But somebody's home. Somebody's home.
This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. And Nightingale a component. They didn't see him as a person. More like a container for something.
For a heart?
Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
Up from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise.
Robert Nightingale came from the lake before his murder.
I feel like I've seen some discussions about how this, the movie In the Mouth of Madness, may have been some inspiration for the original game, but I feel like it's even more direct considering the author is within the nightmare. I can feel that Nightingale came from the lake, but why now, after 13 years? Where has he been?
The lake is connected to Nightingale somehow.
Casey, let's take a look down by the lake. Lead the way.
Sounds good. This way, right?
Right.
Well, okay. Well, I'll just wait here.
This one of your hunches, Anderson? Did something happen at the lake?
I think Nightingale came up from that direction. From the lake. Probably looking for shelter. Safety.
Like, all of these ideas, the mind place, the hunches, it makes me think that Saga is herself a creation of Alan
Not that
Wake.
complicated. Nightingale was out in the woods.
Just
alone,
like Alex
possibly
Casey.
nude. The killers knew he was here, ambushed him, dragged him to the campgrounds, strapped him to the table, cut his heart out. But then they were interrupted by those witnesses, the Bookers. The job is unfinished.
That seems pretty complicated to me. What was this guy doing skinny dipping at this time of year?
Haven't figured that part out yet.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of questions.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the fact that the lady in the beginning of... in the villain, essentially, in Alan Wake 1, had a hole in her chest.
It is kind of creepy, though. A witch with no heart. A strange echo of Al murder.
There is no mystery in Cauldron Lake being named after its cauldron shape, and yet there are many mysterious stories about the lake, it being a gloomy doorway to the underworld, or a witch whose cauldron the lake really was. The legend tells that when the affections of a local sheriff went unanswered, he accused the lady in question of having bewitched him. She was drowned, but her dropped ladle grew into a strange tree named Witch's Ladle. The woman returned to avenge her wrongdoers, if she was not a witch before she was now. She killed the sheriff, drowning him in the lake. Then she took out his heart and locked it in a box. With the heart, she would summon him from the lake to exact revenge on her behalf. Or so the legend goes. Well, legends are always bits and pieces of truth.
There's a piece of paper on the ground. Tracks. Barefoot. Nightingales?
Can I see the piece of
They come
paper?
out from under the boulder.
It looks like text from a book. Oh, yep, we can see the paper.
A page full of text on one side. Not a printout. Written with a typewriter. Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Like a manuscript. Page of a story. The killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us. The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step down into terrifying depths.
Reading
the words.
These words felt like a message.
Felt like a message.
Someone knew they were here. Someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept, even if they knew it would end up hurting them?
I love it.
Someone's been watching us.
Playing a sick game with us.
You were right. This is right up my alley. Nightingale came this way. Either he dropped this page, or the killers left it for us. This mug always cheers me up.
Not the worst, Mom.
We found a page in the woods. A story about these events. What is Nightingale's role in this?
I carry his words close to my chest now. Inside, the awful truth. You must dig it out.
Something was put inside him. In his chest. I must find out what. I think he came from the lake. But his tracks make no sense.
Too many unknowns. Doesn't make sense. Asking the wrong questions. A dead end, literally. What? He walked through a boulder? Doesn't make sense.
Found all I can here. Time to properly examine the body. See what I can find inside.
Casey, I think something's been put inside Nightingale's body. Let's tell the deputies to get the body to the town morgue.
Okay.
I was gonna say, do I have to go all the way back to the murder site? Probably.
Whoever wrote that page made sure it read like a story. Like a scene from a thriller.
I hate all of it. The text said we'd find more. I believe it.
But what's the purpose? They're twisting events to create their own narrative. To do what? Entertain some fantasy? Projecting their desires? Are we characters or the audience? Witnesses to their design? All the above?
It's all about control.
You made it back.
Deciding
Good.
what happens to who. Don't let it drag you in.
Too late. I'm already hooked. I need the next chapter.
I hope you didn't get stuck in any of those big puddles. Crazy flooding down there, huh? Just like I said.
I don't remember you saying anything. Let's get the body back to town.
Deputy, I want the body taken back to town for a proper examination, ASAP.
Well, sure. But the coroner won't be back in town for another week after Deerfest.
Not a problem. I'll do it myself.
Oh, and Sheriff Breaker called to say he's got the bookers at the Oh Dear Diner in town.
Oh
and
dear.
I've got a key to the gate. It's a shortcut back to the parking lot just up the hill.
Thanks. Let's get the car. The Bookers.
At the diner, right? I could use a cup of coffee.
Let's try that shortcut the deputy mentioned.
Sounds good.
Seems like a nice town so far. Murders aside. Pretty woods. Cute lodge we got set up in. We should go for a hike if we get a chance.
Now you're just being mean, Anderson.
Deputies aren't exactly up to the task, but hopefully the sheriff will be more helpful.
Not a surprise about the deputies. Doubt they see much stuff this gruesome.
Ooh, what do we got here? Is it a thermos?
Kid's lunchbox? An Alex Casey movie lunchbox. Casey hates the endless jokes about coincidentally having the same name as a fake detective. He hates those cheesy crime books, but he really hates the movies.
We're all in this together, hero. Have a heroic day. Manuscript fragments can be used to upgrade weapons in the Mind Place. Oh, that was like the Pistols magazine. Increase magazine size by 50%. Land 2 headshots in quick succession to stun an enemy for extended range and hold the fire button to activate auto fire mode. This significantly increases the rate of fire. Okay, but I only have 2 scraps. I just had an idea. It's a terrible idea. But, like, imagine if there was a game in which, like, you had, like, customizable character. You have, like, stats you can improve, levels you can get, skill points you can spend. But you never do anything with those skills. Like, you upgrade your pistols as much as you want, but you never shoot anything. The game never wants you to shoot anything. Like, imagine in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 3, you have a starting character that leaves your party. You can spend points to level them up, but they just leave, and you never see them again. For story reasons. Like, what if, like, I'm collecting these tattered pieces of paper, and I just never shoot a single bad guy. Ever.
Can't fit the clues all together yet. Heart removed, tripod, tracks leading to a dead end.
A tripod for a camera? To record a snuff film?
Maybe. And why take out his heart just to throw it away?
To stuff in something for us to find.
Parking lot is to our... left,
I
but...
want to walk around for a minute.
You know where to find me.
The rarest wildlife in the Pacific Northwest. I finally made my way to Cauldron Lake. The fence was easy to climb over with the proper gear and skills, which I thankfully possess. Next goal, spotting the rare and elusive orange-crowned warbler. A little late in the season, but hopefully I can catch it before it begins its journey south. I've noticed intriguing behavior in surrounding common bird life. They seem to be alarmed and swarm around the lake. No birds of prey nearby. There are some strange sounds carried on the wind, however. Nothing I can recognize or explain. Getting a little concerned. I might have to find another spot, somewhere safer. The sounds are getting closer. Moving inland. Foliage is stunning. Must come back in fall. Had to stop and sketch this gorgeous vine maple just at the way the Methuselah's beard hangs off it. This is why trees are better than people. Are you part of the cult? Speaking of people, saw some drunk guy staggering around the forest earlier, acting weird. Maybe he got drugs? Kept my distance. Should probably find another spot. So annoying. After I saw that weirdo guy, I decided to change spots again. Moved up the mountain a bit. Found a fantastic overlook to camp at. But I'm more interested in this Alaska onion grass. Invasive but edible and surprisingly tasty. Started hearing wolves or wild dogs or something like 10 minutes ago, but they sound wrong. Rabies? Want to leave, but the sun is going down and my stupid phone is dead. Gonna hide in the tent and hope they go away. Something was really not right about this place. They seem to have left their pack behind. Is this a path? It registers as a path on the map.
Hey, Kate. What's the forest's favorite shape?
Please, Anderson. Just one case without the
A triangle.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
Okay, it wasn't great, but I
I'm gonna go
appreciate
check
it.
something out. Be right back.
Got it.
Oh.
Here we are. Let's drive back to town and meet the sheriff at the diner. I can't get that manuscript page out of my head. I've never seen killers reach out so directly before.
Damn impressive work so far. With your technique, these hunches were moving fast.
Home of the annual
Taking a case
Deer
so far from
Face.
home, but
Deer Fest.
I'm thrilled to be here for this mystery.
Also, watch out for deer. Makes sense. Ah!
Need to swing by the lodge to get anything from the field office?
20 mile per hour
there
maximum
anyway.
speed. You aren't getting around this town anytime
Get a
fast.
feel for the town.
Interesting how she's not wearing her FBI jacket while in her mind place.
The diner's just up the waterfront. Shouldn't keep the sheriff and our witnesses waiting.
I smell coffee.
Hello, how do you?
Hey!
Ah, flooded. Nice. Oh dear.
Just how much coffee have you had today, Carly?
Don't know, don't care. How much have you had? Not enough. That's how much. Never enough coffee. Oh, that rich, bittersweet nectar. Get it at Coffee World. Get it where you can. Get it now.
Jesus, Charlie.
Hello. Come get percolated. Interesting how we're passing by coffee in order to go to another place to get coffee.
You don't think the amount of hot, caffeinated beverages you've downed has anything to do with it?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in hell. Swambass City.
I'm gonna go
Send
check
the
something
topic,
out.
please.
Be right back.
Got it.
I'm reminded of a friend of mine who decided it would be a great idea to fill up a 64-ounce jug with coffee. And he was halfway through it. And he's standing in his kitchen, and I'm in his living room. And I look up to him, and I'm like, I'm sitting on the couch, and he's just standing and like pacing back and forth. I'm like, hey, this is your place. You can sit down if you want. And he's like, can't. He went a little bit too far.
Oh, it's Washington's finest.
You must be Sheriff Breaker.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff. I'm set for coffee.
You know,
That's Sean Ashmore.
I'm Agent Saga Anderson. This is Agent Alex Casey.
Tim Breaker. And let me just say, I'm happy you two are here. Frankly, we could use the help.
Your deputies said you had a couple of witnesses here.
They made them sound like suspects.
Mulligan and Thornton are still on about that? No, the Bookers don't strike me as the murdering type, but you can decide for yourselves. They're just inside having coffee and pie to calm their nerves.
I'll see what they have to say. Casey, you compare notes with the sheriff.
Take your time. We've looked through the case files you sent over, Sheriff. Have you had many people besides the known victims go missing?
Sure. But it's slowed down ever since Cauldron Lake was fenced off.
Let me guess. Missing person cases spiked around 2010. The fence was built just after.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right.
You can go ahead, Anderson.
One of these days we'll see actual, like, the action side of the thing. Fight monsters, shoot bad guys, but for now, I'm going to stop here for the night. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.
How can you be so calm?
Corpses are part of the job. Can't dwell on it too much.